the Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, and hello. Welcome to Leaving Today podcast, episode number 190. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. It means a whole lot to us. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here of the LTP. Sitting to the right of me is the Trailmaster of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope you find the water to be very warm. We are an honest and open Disneyland podcast. We love the parks. We want them to succeed. So we'll talk about anything with the news, attractions, food, as you'll find out today, for sure. So today's show is sponsored by our listeners. And if you want to get involved in that, you can go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon link, and we make it super simple there. Also, if you're on Instagram, go to Leaving Today Podcast and click on the link tree, and we have access there to our Patreon, as well as TeePublic. You can buy some shirts. Yeah, and also at this point, a couple of things. If you want to pause this and leave us a review on whatever platform you're doing, it means a whole lot to us. Give us whatever rating you feel, and we will just go from there. Also, if you want to take time and go to YouTube and subscribe to Leaving Today Podcast, we have a channel up there, and every other Wednesday we do something called LTP Lounge, where we try to invite a guest on, and we just talk for an hour or so, hour and a half, and listeners can... It's live, so listeners can chat with us, and we'll talk about the news, the current news of the day, and wherever it goes from there. Yep. We hope to keep growing that channel. We've had, the first couple shows have been good. The first one was kind of sketchy, but we got our sea legs after our second show, and I think we're only going to get better. Hope to expand this community with that, and I hope to meet a lot of you, and we can get going from there.
Yeah, and I encourage anybody who interacts with us, interacts with me, Mark, or Jess, in any one of the other social platforms, if you have the time to come on and join in the chat, please do. Because what we found out now, first time we had a little bit of interaction. The second show around, we got a lot more, yeah. And that really helps drive the show, and it makes me feel better, because the whole purpose of the show is for that. Is not only to have discussion with people that we like and we enjoy talking to, but it's also more for driving interaction with you guys. Yeah. Driving interaction and trying to grow the LTP family bigger and pull more people into our crazy family.
Sure.
And just, have the love and have everybody talking and communicating, just having a good time. So, yeah, yes. I would encourage you guys to join us over there every other Wednesday around 6 p.m. Indy time.
People didn't know what that was. It's Pacific time.
So, Indy... as in we're indie.
Yes.
Anyway, so there we go. So we're going to keep on referring to indie time. You guys will figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that's what they call fan engagement. That's what they want us to do, right? Engage with fans.
Okay.
Or listeners.
We do that anyway, but
yeah.
I just want people to, we're over there, come hang out.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be shy. Come out, and if you want to lurk for a little bit, that's fine. Kind of, but I would encourage you, don't, if you're going to lurk, but if you're going to, hopefully that moves into interacting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you guys want to come on the show and get a little video spot with us, or if you say I'm too shy to be on video, well, we can just pull your audio too, and you can talk to us without your camera.
Yeah, we can totally turn your camera off, and I'm going to start doing that. Actually, I'm just going to start putting my logo up.
Yeah, there. You are?
Yeah, I'm just going to put.
I don't believe that.
A big logo. I got to figure out my logo. But anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, today we have a friend of the show, Jay, is going to come on and talk to us about Lunar New Year food and downtown Disney stuff, and wherever and whatever else. So we wanted you to get to that as soon as possible, but we got to get to the news first.
Yep.
That's why we don't have an opening question. Normally we would, but let's just jump over to the news. All right, the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay. We got to start off with some, I guess, sad news.
Very sad news.
Out of the blue, we have to recognize Carl Weathers, who passed away, I think, most unexpectedly. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Former Raider great Carl Weathers, known for his roles in the Rocky films, Predator, and The Mandalorian, has passed away at the age of 76. Weathers played Apollo Creed in the first 4 Rocky films and Colonel Al Dillon in Predator. His other famous roles include Detective Adam Bordeaux in Street Justice and Derek Chubbs Peterson in Happy Gilmore and Little Nicky. He portrayed a fictionalized version of himself in Arrested Development in 2021.
He was great. He's so great in that.
Weathers was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series for his recurring role as Grief Karga in The Mandalorian.
He was great. Oh,
Yep.
my gosh.
He appeared as Karga, a loyal friend to the titular Mandalorian, and the one who most often calls him Mando.
Yep.
In the 9 episodes of the show, 4 in the first season, 1 in the second, and 4 in the third season. Also for Disney, Weathers voiced Combat Carl in Toy Story of Terror and Toy Story 4. He voiced Omnitraxus Prime in Star Wars and the Forces of Evil. I didn't know about that.
Yep.
Before his acting career, Weathers played football, beginning at San Diego State University, and signed with the Oakland Raiders and played as a linebacker for 2 seasons at the NFL. He is survived by his 2 sons with his ex-wife, Mary Ann. So thoughts and prayers go out to them.
Yep.
And, yeah, I mean, we'll do a moment of silence real quick, but I know quick thoughts about that.
Well, the reality is like Carl Weathers, and we talked a little bit about this on my Mando show, that for guys of our age and our generation, and Chad put it very well. He was like the man's man. Like he was, the characters that he played were very like strong, manly, like just dudes. You know what I mean? So he always portrayed most of his characters until, I mean, you go into Chubbs though. Chubbs had changed that, you know, and it proved that he could have comedic timing, which same thing with the rest of the development, proved that he was not just like this tough guy. Action guy, you know. I remember him from Rocky. I mean, that my dad Rocky. I mean, we watched those more than a few times together.
Adrian.
Exactly. Well, and then him, you know, and he was such a good character. But the one thing that really struck me was as Mandalorian came out and as the behind the scenes stuff and things like that came out more and more, it struck me how much of how intelligent he was, and not saying that he was stupid, but just the fact that he understood the business, he understood acting, he understood directing, he understood the business, and not only that, but he was a gentle man. Like one of the things that was great is that when everything went down with Gina Carano, he did not abandon her. He was one of the first people, and Gina Carano even put a very nice post, a couple of different nice posts just talking about him, and basically was one of the people coming to her side to try to support her in that messed up time with her. And then not only that, but Jon Favreau put them together to kind of mentor, because he was an athlete, played, you know, football and always had that kind of action thing going on, that he could help Gina develop from an action, you know, sports person into an actor. And I think he did an outstanding job, because you can look at Gina's development, even in that series and what she's done after, you can see that. So that's one of the things that is really especially tragic for me, is that he, in a few interviews, expressed that he was excited. He got to direct an episode of The Mandalorian, a very good episode of The Mandalorian, where I can't think of his name. His name just slipped my mind. who Ahmad Best came back, and
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
in that. And that episode, honestly, that is one of the best episodes of The Mandalorian. And he directed that. So the sad part for me and the tragic part is that we're not going to get more of his ability and his
Yeah.
directing talent. So
Yeah.
Definitely gone too soon. A giant, just a great individual in everything that I read, heard, and people have said nothing but the nicest and sweetest things to him. Sly, Sylvester Stallone just put out a video talking about him too.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's one of those things that is just so sad and so tragic when you lose somebody that was just a good human being. And it is the world is a little bit sadder and a little bit darker without him around.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, we'll do a quick moment of silence. But again, Carl Weathers dies at age 76. Okay. Well, I guess back to reality. Super important news topic is Shop Disney will go back to the original Disney Store name. Thank goodness that that's happened. I mean, wow. Shop Disney is going to go back to be called Disney Store.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You know what's so funny is they probably paid some focus group, a couple $1 million. What should we do? How about let's just go back? Okay, thank you. That's, $1 million, whatever. So now Shop Disney is going to be called Disney Store. Super important. Yeah. Next news item.
Oh my! Hold on. I can't. Wait.
What? Because you know Disney probably paid some firm to do that.
Exactly. So these are the things that drive me batty about large. I will tell you where to go, Disney. Go to your fans. They will tell you. Mm-hmm. They will tell you. Disney Store. Even when they changed it to Shop Disney, how many of you all out there said, okay, I'm going to go to Shop Disney? No. You continued to call it Disney Store. I did.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet you everybody within the reach of my voice right now says, hey, I never called it Shop Disney.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's the same thing where they paid a focus group over $1 million to change the name for Disney's California Adventure. So this brain trust, this group of some sort of Mensa meeting goes, well, we were Disney's California Adventure. Now let's just call Disney California Adventure. Oh, so you guys just dropped the S? Yeah, okay, thanks. There's $1 million. And this is nonsense to me.
Oh no, exactly. Anytime Disney does things like this, that's so inconsequential and so stupid. These are problems that they create. That they're creating a problem where there isn't one. There wasn't.
Right.
Why would you change it to Shop Disney? I would actually love to hear, or read the report that said, "Hey, we want to change it to this because of X, Y, Z," and then laugh at it.
Right. For sure. Absolutely.
Reconnect with the people. Anyway.
But they're not, because they are beholden to stockholders.
Well.
Okay, wait, we're not going down Nelson Peltz nonsense right now. Okay, next news item is Pixar Place Hotel. Pixar Place Hotel at Disneyland Resort, formerly Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, has officially opened. Woo! Pixar Place Hotel first opened in 1984 as the Emerald of Anaheim. It was operated by the Tokyo Group and at one point renamed the Pan Pacific Hotel in Anaheim. Disney bought the hotel in 1995 and renamed it the Disney Pacific Hotel. To coincide with the opening of Disney California Adventure in 2001, in 2001, it was renamed again as Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel. The corresponding Paradise Pier land in the park eventually became Pixar Pier. Mm-hmm. Upon visiting Pixar Place Hotel, guests will see the creative process behind Pixar animated films come to life in new ways. From the giant Luxo Jr. and Luxo Ball statue in the lobby to the depth of theming in the guest rooms, Pixar Place Hotel serves as a living gallery that celebrates the art of Pixar. Great. For just point of reference, I picked a 2-night stay for starting in May 20th of 2024. With a checkout of May 22nd. Mm-hmm. A standard view room at the Pixar Place Hotel is going to cost you $504 a night, and 50 cents a night. A premium view is going to cost you $647 a night. If you are thinking about this, I would urge you to think again.
I can't.
This is great that they have a new themed hotel. That's wonderful for those who care. I think the design is cool inside.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad that they've got the Great Maple there as a restaurant anchoring everything. But if you are going to spend $504 for this hotel per night, you either have a lot of extra money or you are financially illiterate.
Well, yeah. I mean, and then not.
I mean,
where's the suite too? Like, you see, I mean, you
the,
put in
the suite is $1,262.
Look, I ain't in this for your revolution, and I'm not in it for you, Princess. I expect to be well paid. I'm in it for the money.
I don't understand what is going on here because I didn't print this out, but I included it in the notes. But I also did for Disney's Grand California. The same night there, it's like $879. I just again. You either have to have a lot of money that you don't care about, or you're just literally financially illiterate.
Yeah.
That you would go ahead and support this nonsense.
Yeah. Well, here is the problem, and these are when you're looking at rates and the rates that high, you got to realize that these are all symptoms of the problem. These are all symptoms of the problem of where Disney's at right now. Okay, Disney Corp. Okay, Disney Corporation, where they are right now. So when they do things like that, they're going to, and then I'm not even that, and is that even quote unquote peak time?
Is May 20th peak time?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah. So there we go. So when you see that, I mean, we always know. Okay, a proper Disney hotel, anything Disney-owned hotel, the rate's gonna be higher automatically. We all know that. It's not even a thing.
Right.
That to be like, what do you mean? But no, when they're going up this high for a standard room, dude.
This hotel, this is supposedly the bottom of the line. There.
Correct. It is the value hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then we're the ones who are paying $140 a night. So yeah, we pay $140 a night. We go down the road a little bit, and we make that affordable. So that's the thing is like. When I see this kind of stuff, I hope the vacancies get to a point where they're like, okay, we can't do this.
Right, absolutely not.
So these are the moments, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, the rates are kind of crazy. Anytime I see a rate like that, I full on throw my head back and belly laugh.
Yeah, I mean, this is about $300 more than it should be per night.
100%.
Yeah. So again, if that's your thing, good luck.
Yep. I mean, hey, if you've got the money and you want to do that whole thing, man, go for it. Hats off to you. Enjoy the hell out of it and have a great time. I'm glad you will. Yeah.
All right. Next news item, and we'll hope to talk to Jay about this, is Downtown Disney Parkside Market. The Disney Parks blog has shared new updates on changes coming to the Downtown Disney District at Disneyland Resort, including concept art of Parkside Market and an update about Earl the Sandwich. So we have this Parkside Market. We're looking at some screenshots or some artist concept of it. I think it looks awesome. Mm-hmm. And this is a food hall concept where it looks like it's going to be, the description. Once open, the Parkside Market will include Soul Sister, fast casual modern Korean eatery based on Korean rice bowls. Sip and Sonder, serving lattes, fresh treats, frozen drinks, and Caribbean-inspired dishes. Gigi's Chicken Shop, which includes chicken sandwiches, salads, and classic dinner table sides, and a second-story bar offering views of the district and signature craft cocktails.
I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. I love that,
yeah.
And I think this is going to be a hard ticket to get into this.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's going to overlook that little stage out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the concept that they're doing. I'll be curious to see what Jay thinks about this. But and I'm sure this is going to be super popular.
Yeah.
Do you think this fits well down there?
Oh yeah, no. And looking at the concept drawing, it's going to fit in pretty well with what they recently installed. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's going to be great. I'm actually can't wait and go check it out when that does in fact open up.
Yeah. So, but again, are you likely to go here for a drink in the evening, or are you going to go to Trader Sam's?
Oh, Trader Sam's is always happening.
Okay.
Without a doubt. I mean,
okay.
Trader Sam's will. I mean, it really has to be amazing to supplant Trader Sam's.
Yeah.
Because Trader Sam's, there's nothing quite like Trader Sam's.
The only thing that actually would make me go away from Trader Sam's is if they rethemed that Star Wars Outpost to some sort of indie restaurant, and you could go there and sit. Because you used to be able to sit outside at the Rainforest Cafe in the upper level, and how fun would that be? Anyways, I'm just blue skying this. Okay, so that's a design win. We'll see how it goes. Earl Sandwich next. They were going to get a new 2-story location in the downtown Disney district. Do you need a 2-story sandwich shop?
I don't get this. Honestly, I don't. I do not understand this move.
No. With a quick service shop on the ground level and a tabletop service option upstairs. More details will be shared about this project in the future.
I'm going out on a limb. I don't think it's too much of a limb to say that upper section is going to be virtually empty, or it's going to be people eating other things other than Earl's.
Other than Earl's Sandwich,
Yep.
yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. Like, hey, it could be kind of cool to go up there and bring your own food. But we'll see. I don't even know where this is yet, but we'll see it. A temporary Earl's Sandwich pop-up location will be opening in the meantime near the Star Wars Trading Post. As previously announced, the restaurant will be relocated from its current temporary location on the east side of the district near the Esplanade to make way for Porto's Bakery. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on in downtown Disney. Okay, Paseo and Centrico and Tiendita.
Tiendita.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say that correctly.
No.
Okay, new concept art for the upcoming Paseo and Centrico was also released. Once open, this restaurant will offer menus created by Michelin-starred chef Carlos Gaitan. The Paseo upstairs dining room in Centrico on the first floor will serve upscale Mexican cuisine and tequila-based cocktails.
Nice.
Meanwhile, next door at the newly announced
Tiendita.
Yep, will serve chef
Gaitan.
Mexican flair on the go with quick service street food options. It looks like it's located in the former Sprinkles cupcake space. There's no seating visible in the photo, and we don't know if this location will offer an outdoor seating area.
Yeah, so Tiendita translated means little store.
Little store. Disney's announcement seems to imply all 3 restaurants could open together later this spring.
Well, it would make sense that they're all pretty much well integrated, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess if you want to take this food to go, you can go up to the second floor of Earl Sandwich.
And there you go.
Yeah, why not? Maybe if we get a chance, we can record up there.
Oh, yeah.
a little
I think
bit.
we'll have plenty of quiet space up there.
Yes. Okay. Next news item, sure to make Udi stoked. Disney falls to number 12 on Fortune's World's Most Admired Companies list. Loses top spot in media and entertainment sector after 20 years. Number 1 on the overall list for 2024 is Apple, followed by Microsoft, and then Amazon. Disney fell 6 places from their number 6 position on the 2023 list. Netflix topped the media and entertainment sector, kicking Disney down to number 4 after 20 years at the top. Activist investor Nelson Peltz, who's that, is vying for a seat on Disney's board of directors, has suggested that Disney join forces with Netflix to achieve profitability.
Yes, he has.
The world's most admired companies list is based on a poll of 600 plus company candidates and 3,720 executives, directors, and industry analysts. Korn Ferry Consulting Company and Fortune asked participants to rate companies on 9 criteria, including investment value, ability to attract talent, products, quality of management, and social responsibility. To make the list, a company's score must rank in the top half of the industry. Thoughts on that, Udi?
So as you guys know, I've been doing the best I can to kind of keep everybody in the loop and trying to, if you guys don't want to get too deep in the weeds, what's going on with Disney Corp and Disney as a company as a whole, because of how it's going to affect the park, right? What we mostly care about. So I'm not surprised by this at all. I think these are more miscues by Big Papa Iger that are coming up now. These are all the things that you cannot blame Chapek, you cannot blame pandemic, you cannot blame any other person, really, but Bob Iger. Buck stops with him and the Disney board. So Nelson Peltz is when I read things like this, all this is another arrow in the quiver of Nelson Peltz and Tryon to get seats on the board. There's more that's happened this week, even after our recording that we did Wednesday night. We talked about it a little bit on our LTV Lounge.
We did.
More has happened since then. So, again, this is why I'm white pilled, and so
I don't even know what that term means.
white pill means you're hopeful.
Oh.
So black pill means everything is horrible. Everything is going to go badly. Nothing's going to go right. Everything's going to be just trash, and we're all in a black area. Okay.
Well, so then you know that the world's gone mad if Udi's hopeful for something.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So the fact that I'm the one sitting here as trying to be the ray of sunshine, going, "Woo, we can do this."
Oh yeah, this is so strange for me.
And again, I am explaining to people as much as I can why I feel this way. So
Okay.
by pointing out these things like there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that, that's kind of making it go like, this is why I feel like we've got a chance here to make some substantive, much needed change in Disney corporate.
Yeah.
Yep. Shareholders, if you go read the perspectives, please, in the white paper,
Yeah.
and make your call.
Make your call.
Yep.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I would imagine that they want to get back on the top of that list.
Yes, because if not, then I'm telling you, man. Ooh. Stuff's gonna come down. Anyway, moving on. Woo.
Moving on, the last news item for this, because we want to get to Jay, is something I dug up. new Star.
Oh man. Okay.
And hopefully we don't go too long on this because
I'm gonna be here.
people want Jay.
You hear that banging noise? That's me building my soapbox.
Well, people want Jay. They don't want.
Yeah. Okay. They don't want to listen to me.
New Star Wars movies coming soon, in the near future, or crossing off soon and putting near out of there as well. So I didn't know some of these. There's a list of movies coming out, and I remember hearing this, I think, at Star Wars Celebration. I had no idea. I've forgotten about some of these. So let's go for the ones that are canceled. Rogue.
Wait. Okay. No. Let's just go straight down the list, my friend.
Okay. Well, why don't you do it, since this is not my realm at all.
So
I love Star Wars, but not to the level.
Okay. So let me go ahead.
That's the Lucasfilm calling you right now.
Yeah. No. Right. They're like, what are you about to say? Okay. So. The Rey Skywalker. I'm not going to belabor this one because I've said my piece with this right now. I don't think this movie is going to get made in its current iteration, if at all. Okay, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the director, Daisy Ridley, has been talking about it. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy has been quiet, and she's been quiet because I think Anyway, so I'm not going to belabor that point. I've already said my piece, so I'm going to keep on going. So currently, the Rey movie, as it's being called, I do not believe will be made in its current iteration, if at all. I think that might have... I will get a better sense of this by mid-year. Okay? Okay, so the New Republic movie.
Okay, I'll just comment on that. I'd go see this. As I mentioned this before, I would absolutely go see this.
Rey?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'm curious to see what happens. I mean, I may not connect with the character so much, but I would love to hear more about it. And just, I mean, at least I'll go once. I just want to see something at the theater.
Well, okay, so I'm trying not to go too deep in the weeds because there's more.
Okay.
So I'll say this.
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley has done two things. One, she's commented that the story, as she knows it, the arc, she said is kick-ass. I think that's her direct quote.
Okay.
The other part is she kind of addressed the whole like chauvinistic hate, Star Wars, the hate in the community, blah 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 blah, and she said something, and this is why I've always liked Daisy Ridley as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like the Rey character,
right?
But it's not any hate on her.
No.
Okay. I can separate the fictional character from the human being.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see, just from her character as Rey, I think her skill set ramped up way too fast.
Yeah.
And we did not see growth in her. I would like to see the growth.
Yeah, the Mary Sue part aspect of it, that's one of the biggest problems. And so
maybe that's what this is.
Well, nobody knows for sure.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of rumor and speculation. But the other part, the part where this is why I enjoyed Daisy was because she said, what did she? How did she say? She said all that, like the hate and blah 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 blah, the chauvinism. It's like she thinks it's overblown.
Okay.
She said she's had nothing. She's like, when she walked out on the Star Wars celebration, she got nothing but love, and that's something that we brought up in the Mando show. That's the one thing about Star Wars that's great. Like all these outliers, that a lot of the stuff that is like beefing, within the community, a lot of it is crap. A lot of it is BS, and a lot of it is built up and blown up by people who aren't really fans. We can have our arguments and discussion about characters and why I think the sequel trilogies suck and they're horrible, but I can have that active argument without saying Daisy Ridley is horrible, John Boyega is trash, or Oscar Isaacs. If I'm talking to, it's not. I'm not mad at the character. I'm not mad at the person. It's just, what I'm saying. So
I think there were some good things. And
there were aspects, there were flashes of good things in the trilogy in the sequel trilogy, but overall, it's a big steamy pile. But
of course. I say, okay, that's right.
So anyway, so the New Republic movie.
Oh yeah.
So this one is the one that Dave Filoni is supposedly uniting the Mandoverse all together. Okay. So this one is good. As far as I know, this one is still on track. This actually got recently announced or re-announced, I guess if you want to put it, or reinforced that it's coming out. So that one I'm looking forward to. That one we'll see where it goes. Okay, so Dawn of the Jedi. This one I think is dead. Okay, and here's the reason why. This is the Dawn of the Jedi, which is James Mangold.
Hold on a second. Just go back. Sorry. The New Republic movie, the one by Filoni. So this is going to be after Return of the Jedi, but before Episode 7.
Yeah.
So, and that's an interesting time period in the realm because we hopefully would get to see the rise of the First Order. At least
no, it'd be Rise of the Empire.
No, this is after Return of the Jedi.
No, yeah. Correction. New Order. Yeah. Yeah.
So I would be curious to know about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No. And that's where it falls in. This is that's in that gap between
Jedi
6 and 7. Correct.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So now Dawn of the Jedi. Okay, I don't think this movie's getting made. I really don't. The main reason being is that James Mangold just directed probably one of the biggest flops in Lucasfilm history. I don't think you get rewarded with a Star Wars movie after doing that.
Is that the Indiana Jones thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't, and honestly, there is some demand for a high what is it this part in Star Wars lore. Okay, there is a demand for this movie. I just don't think he's the type of guy that's going to happen that should be directing it. I think there are plenty of other directors in the current Lucasfilm stable, as per se, that could do a far better job. James Mangold, the last 2 movies that he's directed, I did not like.
Did he write Indiana Jones?
No, but he directed it.
Okay, well, what's more important, the writer or the director?
It's a combination.
Okay, well, if the story's good, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but again, this is what I'm saying. You don't direct a movie like that and then have a box office failure of its magnitude, and then here you go, have a Star Wars movie.
No, I don't know enough about the books, the expanded universe.
Yeah.
Is there already a story for this somewhere in the books?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because this, again,
from my understanding, like I'm not a big deep that in the that time frame.
Yeah.
In this, I'm not super familiar with that. You know who to talk to about that?
Ricky,
Chad.
And Chad. Okay.
Chad. Maybe Ricky. But Chad for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
But so this could talk about. So this would take thousands of years. Sorry, take place thousands of years before Episode 1.
Correct.
So none of the characters we would even know.
No. And so this. So
except maybe Plagueis, right?
So, right. Well, it could be. So here's the thing, though. This is trying to set it in what's known as the High Republic time. Okay. The problem with that is that the High Republic is not popular. It's not popular.
Well, we don't know it.
No, but it's not popular. It's not catching on. When they did the expanded universe and they did the Zon books and all these other things, those caught on because they're good. The High Republic they've been trying to push for a while.
Yeah.
No one is taking to it to the level of this. So this is where I get into that whole thing. Is like, stop trying to make us like something. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at with this one. So that's why I don't know. I think this one's going to go the way of a few other ones that are on this list, which I laughed when I read the list because I'm like,
Okay.
okay. So the next one is absolutely coming. The Mandalorian Grogu. It better not be. That better not be the name of the movie.
No.
Because that is a trash name. Okay. So this one is coming. This one is the next one up on the slate. And I can't wait for this one. I can't wait for this one because I think the one comment that I've been making is that Disney really needs to hit it out of the park with their next Star Wars movie. They cannot do a halfway thing. They cannot do a half-baked. This needs to be good. So when you have Filoni and Favreau together, I have more faith in Favreau than Filoni. Not that I don't have faith in Filoni, but I have more faith in Favreau.
Okay.
Because Favreau does not make bad movies. Go into, and I invite everybody, go into his catalog. Go look at his resume. Go find a bad movie.
Yeah.
You're not going to find one.
No.
So he does good, and he is, his mind, the way he operates, he knows how to use technology, so many things. So this one, it makes sense why Disney kind of went like, okay, no, because I think the Ray movie was the original one that it all sounded like we're going to get this in a year and a half. And then all of a sudden now this one got bumped up. And I think the reasons are two. One, I don't think any kind of real good script is ready and prepared for the Ray movie. And two, after Charmin Obaid-Chinoy basically said that, a woman needs to be, it's about time a woman directed the Path to Stars. I'm like, lady, they've been doing it from the beginning. So that a lot of people in the community kind of went like, yo, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Women have been involved in the story making from the word go. But anyway, so I think there's a combination, and Disney kind of realized, hey, we really do need to be, the script isn't ready. What are we going to do? Let's go here. So
Yeah.
okay, so Rogue Squadron, yes, canceled. That one was going to be by Patty Jenkins. This one I'm really sad. They did some teaser trailers. They had her talking. Now, there are many rumors as to why this fell apart. The main one being that Patty Jenkins didn't want to, how can I put it, compromise or work within the Disney thing. She wanted to do her thing no matter what, and blah, 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 blah. That's what I read. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that one is canceled, which makes me sad because I would have loved the idea behind this kind of movie, this kind of film is great. They could have done like a Top Gun, but with X-Wings. Hello, sign me up. But that one is dead. Okay, Lando movie, that's dead.
You think, who cares
it's
about
dead. No. I love Lando.
Yeah.
But I love Orlando. I don't like the new Lando.
That Danny Glover guy?
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is?
Yeah, Danny Glover. I don't like that Lando. He's not as charismatic as Billy Dee was.
No.
Just not. No,
Well,
he's
I
not
don't
as
think
smooth.
we need a Lando movie anyway.
No, and no one's asking for a Lando movie.
No.
No. So this one, dead, gone. Okay, Taika Waititi, bye-bye, gone. Never happening. Whatever it was going to be is dead. And then this one is the most laughable one of them all. Something directed by Rian Johnson. After the sequel trilogy, there was a rumor mill going for quite a while that he was going to get a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
3 movies to direct. It's garbage. It's trash.
Yeah.
You cannot direct a movie that deconstructs one of the best heroes of our pop culture to that point and expect you're going to get people accepting you. No. Not happening.
Well, he didn't write it, but again...
No. He did. No. I don't
did
care
he?
if he... No, but it was his ideas. A lot of this was his ideas.
Oh, yeah.
The interviews that came out, it was, no. I lay 100% of the blame on the horror that is The Last Jedi. It is a horror show for Luke. Absolutely. I remember sitting going, what did they do to my freaking hero? They made him into... This is why I don't like these movies, is deconstructing our heroes.
Yeah.
It's not good because you never build them back. And so that's why I don't like it. So Rian Johnson will never get a trilogy. And so many of these movies are going to go exactly with what happens in Lucasfilm. They announce. Hopefully one sticks, and then the other one's just kind of disappear.
So is this still in the pipeline for Rian Johnson?
No.
Okay, good.
Nope.
Well, to sum it up, Disney, Lucasfilm, whatever, they need to hit a home run with whatever they do next.
Correct.
And it's been far too long since we've had anything.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm glad you took that one over because I wouldn't have been able to talk about these in a constructive way.
I got you.
But whatever the case is, I'm going to go to the theater and see a Star Wars movie, and you're going to go with me, and you're going to.
Oh, yeah, no. And the comment we made on the Mando show when we were talking about the Mando and Grogu movie coming out, that we long for that. We long for the days of like lining up and the midnight showings and
yes,
missing that we miss that sense of community.
Yep. And
having that thing of like, hey, Star Wars geeks, we're all out here.
Yeah.
And we're all with it. You're my people. You know, we're all one. So yeah, we need that again. We really do.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up the news. No 101 tonight, but we are going to jump over to Jay because I know he's waiting for us.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to the feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right, LTP listeners, this is our feature presentation for this afternoon. Joining us today, not a guest, he's part of the LTP family, of course. You know him and you love him, and you will listen to him regarding food. This is the one and only Jae Brattain. Hey, Jay.
Hey, what's up, yo? LTP fam, raise your hands up. Say what's up.
Yeah, what's up? Dude, thank you so much for joining us. We haven't talked to you since, I think, before the holidays, but we've been in touch
right.
Since then. And I know recently you've been to the Lunar New Year, so you're going to talk to us about that a little bit. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought there was more to that than that. But, yeah, man, I mean, it's been, I don't know, almost, I wouldn't say 6 months, but definitely before the holidays because, unfortunately, the timing of our last conversation, I wasn't able to, interact with you, so I provided a trip report
appreciate
via
that.
written form.
Yeah.
And apologized with my little audio clip or whatever. But regardless, I'm here to lend a hand and provide as much insight as I can possibly have,
Yes.
Regarding my experiences.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate that. And, this is probably a lot we can talk about in addition to the Lunar New Year because we can talk about your trip to, is it the Palm Breeze bar? Or is that what's called the Palm Breeze? The place?
The new bar, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's at the
DVC, right? DVC.
See, now you're talking about old stuff, man. I was like, my focus was on Lunar New Year. But yeah, no, definitely, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we stayed at that new DVC designated resort at the Disneyland Hotel property. It was great time. Like I said, the Tiana's room was bomb. The overall theming of that area is just on point. Definitely old school Mary Blair vibes. The Palm Breeze Court or Palm Breeze Bar or whatever was awesome. But yeah, just my only gripe about the place is the pricing of the food was over. It was just over what is over what would be normally charged at a regular restaurant, right?
For sure.
And I understand it's a theme park, but at the same time, it's just not something that it was just $38 for a steak salad, just a bit much for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then I remember hearing the episode and Jess kind of complained about the prices of the drink, and I concur with her assessment. But I didn't order any drinks because I didn't even worry about it. I was just like, as soon as I saw the pricing of the food, I just was like, okay, next.
Yeah, next. Awesome.
Nice.
The one thing you didn't cover, this is let's go back a little bit before the Lunar New Year in this trip.
Sure. Okay. Let me get to my photos so I have a context of what you're speaking about.
And I'm not sure that you've tried it, but we did talk about it, and that was that Japanese cheesecake. Is it Japanese style cheesecake over at Aunt Cass's?
Yes.
Did you try that? Because it's funny, we were talking about cheesecake, and then you said, "Have you ever tried Japanese cheesecake?" And we said no.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that thing shows up on the menu at Aunt Cass's over at Pacific Wharf.
Right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that wasn't available at the time.
Oh,
we
okay.
Okay.
Gone to the resort, but what we did try was the Japanese souffle pancakes, and that's at the Tangaroa Terrace.
Oh, yes, yes.
Right. So I don't know about their Japanese cheesecake, but if it's remotely similar in quality to the souffle pancakes, then I'm in for a delight because those souffle pancakes are like just amazing. I don't even know, like, whoever the person was responsible for designing that recipe, chef's kiss. You know what I'm saying?
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Those souffle pancakes were amazing. I shouldn't say souffle pancakes; they're fluffy pancakes. But yeah, definitely light, crispy, airy. The guava. See what they. Let me give me a second here. I'm just
Sure.
Clicking on the description. Oops. All right. Yeah. So the guava syrup was amazing. They have star fruit. It actually provided a nice chewy textural contrast to the light and fluffy innards of the pancakes. The guava syrup was sweet, but not overly sweet. Definitely fruity. Overall, amazing. And then again, like, if you want to edit this out, but it was like, the bacon was not that limp shit over it.
No, that was great.
Oh, I'm not gonna edit that out.
Just really, honestly, I mean, that bacon over at Pim's Kitchen was pathetic, and this is like the real deal. This one is like, when you bite into it, you're like, oh man, this is like bacon for real,
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So it was salty. Definitely a beautiful contrast to the other elements in the dish.
Yeah.
This is, like, again, one of the most perfect breakfasts you could have at Disneyland Resort, and I'm not even kidding. I mean, I've eaten all over the place, and it's a bit expensive, $14, but at the same time, and also just kind of a caveat, you can't order it online. You actually have to order it in person.
Right.
So just be aware.
Okay.
So if you don't see it on your app, then definitely go to the restaurant in person. I believe they open at 7 a.m.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, well, I'm an early riser, man. I mean, I wake up at
Me too.
typically because of work and stuff. I wake up around 5, between 5:30 or whatever. And so, like, sometimes I just like to grab the earliest breakfast you can have, and then at this for Tangaroa Terrace, they open at 7 a.m. and so I was just like right there. I was the first person in line and ordering my breakfast at 7 a.m.
Okay.
And so just yeah.
So you say it's $14. Is it? And I also know that I think you when you buy stuff, you typically share it with your wife, right? That's how you.
Correct.
Is
Yes.
it enough for one person at $14 or?
Oh yeah, definitely,
Okay.
for sure, yeah. No
Okay,
doubt.
cool.
So, and then because the other thing that I ordered was that Moco Loco burrito.
Oh,
Yeah.
that when
And-
you brought that up before, I think Udi that piqued Udi's
Oh
interest.
yeah,
right?
big time.
Yeah.
It was good. It was filling. Definitely dense. It's if you eat that burrito, you can probably skip lunch because it's so heavy and it fills you up.
Yeah.
I only ate half of it because I wanted to try some of the pancake. But I saw a woman, it was like a family of 4, right? And this woman, she actually ate the whole thing. And I was like, wow, I mean, I'm impressed with you. And she wasn't even a big lady. I mean,
Yeah.
she was just like, average, weight or whatever. But I mean, she took it down, and I was just like, "Man, girl, you go."
There you go.
And the only problem I have with that burrito again is that I didn't realize that I needed to order the egg as over easy
Right.
or sunny side up, whatever. The thing is that because of like the cooks being paranoid about health and stuff like that, they
Yeah.
don't want to serve a raw egg
No.
unless you request it. So in most instances, so they gave me a well done egg in the burrito, and it was just like it was all the other elements were good except for the yolk, which was like chalk, right? So
Yeah.
that was a bit problematic because you got that little grainy texture and just like didn't really work well with the rest of the ingredients. The other issue that I had with the burrito is that the salsa that they serve with that burrito is a Mexican salsa, right?
Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
Oh,
Right. You're trying to serve Hawaiian food with Mexican salsa,
No.
so it's just not really the most conducive pairing that you can have.
well, what would be like a Hawaiian salsa?
More
then?
gravy.
I'd
Just
say-
put more gravy.
Well, yeah, you could. I would say either gravy. I think gravy would actually be a perfect pairing, and I think uri is on point. But if you insist on serving salsa, then do like a mango salsa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Instead of like a tomato salsa, this one is like kind of like. It's like something that you'd eat at like Chipotle, right? It's
Okay, I
not,
got you, yeah.
It's not a salsa that you'd want with a Hawaiian style burrito. So that's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if you don't see the problem with the egg, if you don't have it runny, and you don't have enough gravy, then it kind of dries out. It's like it's weird. You really need that moisture to kind of with the rice and everything. That's why a good
Right.
loco moco, like, and that's the other part of it too, is like if you overcook the patty too, which I've had it with an overcooked patty, and you're like, oh, it's just not the same thing. It's like everything's got to be cut.
But have you
cooked
had
in
a
decent-
burrito version of that?
No. What I'm saying, just a regular old loco moca. It needs those things need to be done properly, and then that way they all work together.
Okay.
It's like that's why when you cut into it, you go egg, meat, rice, gravy, all in one shot. Then it's like that's when you get like the full thing going on. Until
Yeah,
then, it's
that's
just
right.
kind of like a mix. And then I throw in a little bit of the macaroni salad, because if you do it right, you get a little macaroni salad on the side, and you throw that in there. Oh, so good.
Yeah, well, mac salad wouldn't probably work inside the burrito.
Not in
but
the burrito.
outside would be
On the
definitely
side,
work.
though, on the side, would it
That'd
work?
well.
Would it work on the side?
Excuse me?
Would it work on the side? Like if they had that with
for
the side?
sure,
Okay,
100%.
okay.
Yeah,
For a
yeah,
breakfast
definitely.
burrito, macaroni salad?
Heck yeah, dude.
All right.
See, Mark. Okay,
Yeah.
Mark, because Mark has
Well-
never had a loco moco,
Okay.
so he needs to, and then he will understand. One day, I will get him into.
We can get it at L&L, right?
Yep.
Okay,
And
L&L.
the only problem with L&L is they overcook their meat, so
Oh,
that's
okay.
the only
Well,
problem.
I'm
with
not going to know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Mark, just kind of
Yeah.
what me what so I'm trying to articulate this in a way to sound like non-racist, but I would say that there's so many cultures in the world that don't eat the style of breakfast that we do.
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And so
Oh, yeah.
that's the thing, is that we Americans have a particular mindset about like how breakfast should be, but you go to other countries,
Yeah.
then you're like, why are you having this kind of dish? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no,
for
very true.
breakfast. Well, that's their cultural norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that just we need to take into consideration, that it's not eggs, toast, bacon, or cereal, or like oats or overnight oats, or
Yeah.
fruit and that kind of thing. I mean, I went to Korea and I spent 5 weeks there, and I ate sashimi for breakfast. I ate wontons. They call it mandu, which is basically like a wonton Korean style for breakfast. I've eaten soup. There's different dishes, and like the way that we perceive breakfast is different from the rest of the world, and so we have to expand our minds. And the loco moco burrito is definitely a great dish, and I hope that they maybe refine it and keep it on the menu, because I think it's a really good option for a lot of people.
I can't wait to try it. I hope it sticks around because I want to try it. for sure.
Yeah, and maybe you can request the gravy or whatever, because I mean, that's actually a very brilliant suggestion.
Thank you. I think adding more gravy, throwing a little bit in there, a little dip. Oh, it'd be great.
I would definitely.
Now I got it in my
try
head.
it.
Now,
I would
see, now I
definitely
want to try it. Now I want to try it. I kind of want to make one now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
All right.
So the way we have this set up right now is we've got 2 iPads. I'm watching you on Wine, and then Udi's got your notes from the Lunar New Year on his. So I'm kind of looking at his as well.
Sure.
All right. So let's start about this Lunar New Year trip. Question though, before we get into the park, I do have some downtown Disney questions for you.
Sure.
Because you went to Tortilla Joe's, and
Yes.
I love, and my family loves Tortilla Joe's. So I'm a bit heartbroken about its demise at the end of March. But you did say something in there. I was reading your notes about something could be promising about that with Paseo.
So when we went to Tortilla Joe's, we spoke to the server, and we had indicated to her, we were going there, and unfortunately, we told her, not unfortunately, but I mean, we just explained to her, like, we appreciated her service and we appreciated, Tortilla Joe's. I'll be honest, man, when Tortilla Joe's first opened, I was like, what the hell, dude? I mean, this is like, Torritos, it's El Torritos, which is like a chain restaurant.
Sure.
Yep.
And then over time, I became like more fascinated with their service and their offerings and the niche that they filled as far as like a mid-level priced restaurant and the things that they served, right? Yeah. And towards the end, I was just like, I kind of have like an affinity towards Tortilla Joe's, right? And, and same with my wife, especially the handmade guacamole. And so when the server came about and we were like, yeah, we're ordering this, these various dishes or whatever, we were like, oh, we're sad to see you go. And she's like, oh, no, we're not really going. And I was like, oh, what are you saying? I mean, they made the announcement and so forth. And she said, no, we're coming back as Paseo. And I was like, oh, okay. So basically the 2 new, I guess, Latin American themed restaurants are Paseo and Centrico. And Paseo is going to be the Tortilla Joe's, and then Centrico is going to be like an elevated Latin American cuisine restaurant.
Okay.
So the other place that they had there previously, which trying to think of the place. Oh my gosh, I'm like totally brain farting.
Catal?
Catal, there you go.
Yeah.
Catal was like more Mediterranean cuisine.
Yeah.
And my wife and I really loved that place too. Unfortunately, it didn't really develop a large following.
Right.
So they said, well, Latin American cuisine is, I guess, more popular or more accepting of the general population, or at least of the populace around Anaheim, or the people who attend Disneyland. And so they decided to kind of shift gears and make it Latin American themed instead of Mediterranean themed.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense for where we are. I mean, where the restaurant is and Disneyland is. Yeah.
Right.
So is Paseo going to go in the same building as Tortilla Joe's, you think? Or
it's a retheme.
You know what? That's the thing. I'm not sure. I mean, bro, it's like playing checkers, man, and you're blindfolded. It's like you don't know, which pieces are moving where because, they're moving Earl of Sandwich, and I'm just like, why? I mean, they seem to be doing well right there in the front.
Yeah.
Right.
And, and then they're putting, the Chinese place,
Din Tai Fung,
in one place, and then they're putting the Cuban sandwich place in another place, and then they're moving Earl Sandwich, and then I don't know why they're not getting rid of Bolero. Sorry, Bolero, I hate you. No, I'm sorry. No, anyways, but no, I mean the rest of the rest of the properties, it's like I don't know if they're moving or staying or whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, but I love that building, honestly. It's just, you have you go inside and you have like that nice upstairs level that you can go outside and eat out there. There's a bar up there or a full restaurant up there as well.
Right.
It's just a fantastic location, and for me and like my family, that it hit a very perfect like price point for us,
Right.
Because Catal, many times we've walked by there and looked at the menu, and the girls are like, "No, there's nothing on here that we really want." Fine,
Sure.
we're not going here. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
some other time, but not today. And Tortilla Joe's has always been a spot where it's a happy medium for everybody. You know, you can get
Right.
we can get nachos and you can get whatever. And I've never had that tableside guacamole, and that looks great, honestly.
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to go before the, close the restaurant, but if you do, then definitely get it. And if not, then according to the server that assisted us, the last time we were there,
Yeah.
they're going to have a similar format, so they should have tableside guacamole. If you do, at least get it once, man. I mean, it's expensive, $18 for guacamole. Yeah, it's expensive, but at the same time, it's dinner theater. It's
okay.
not you're not just paying for the food, you're paying for that person, digging out the avocados, and then they're chopping it, putting in the diced onions, mixing it in with the cilantro, and you get the jalapenos if you want.
Yeah.
They put a little salt and you get to taste it, and then you can adjust your salt level accordingly. So it's like very interactive, very like entertaining. The taste, I mean, when you get fresh made guacamole, there's nothing better. You know what I mean? It's like, the guacamole at Chipotle, man, they make that stuff in large batches and keep it in the refrigerator, and, you eat it, maybe 1, 2, 3 hours later. No, this is like right in your face. You're eating it fresh made, and it just, you can't be beat. It can't be beat, I should say.
Yeah, I've had a couple. I mean, not there, but a couple different restaurants where they have done that. It's always good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had that.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you don't have a local place that does something similar, then this is definitely worthwhile as far as paying the extra money.
Okay.
Again, and then you get bottomless chips. So like you can hork down the chips, and and you can get more salsa too. So you get endless salsa, endless chips, and just be diligent about eating the guacamole.
Yeah,
For sure. Now, quickly, I don't mean to like derail us again, but let's stick with Downtown Disney real quick. What are your thoughts of this new food hall coming into that new expanded part of Downtown Disney? What's it called? It's called. We're going to talk about it in the news, but it's where those 4 new restaurants are going to be next to that Din Tai Fung.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm actually not on top of that news, so I'm not sure what you're speaking about. But I can definitely look into it. So it's a food hall at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a name, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Something Parkside Market or
I think
something?
it's Parkside Market.
Yeah, Parkside Market.
You guys are more into the news than I am, so I'm actually.
Yeah, it's called Parkside Market.
I didn't even realize I hadn't been aware of this thing. So looks like Orange County Registered showed $8 million food hall style
There
concept.
it is. Yeah. Soul Sister, Sip and Sonder, Gigi's Chicken Shop, and I think another one, a second story bar offering. Those are the ones that's showing right now.
Yeah.
Yep. So Soul is in Korean food.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
yes. I my mother's Korean, so it's.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if
understand.
you saw, I don't know if you had that up and you saw that. I was just,
No,
And for
I
our
didn't.
listeners,
And so that's why I'm like, this is actually all new. And
Oh,
interesting
no, there we
news to
go.
me. So, because it's what's kind of sort of interesting to me. Also, sorry, I had to say that I repeated myself. What have you guys ever been to the Anaheim Packing District?
No, but
Okay.
Oh wait, no.
So it's
I have, but I didn't actually. I was around it. I didn't actually go all the way into it. I was around it. I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't actually go.
So basically, it's across the 5 freeway. It's still in Anaheim, not that far away from Disneyland, and they have all these food places, establishments that are similar to what they're proposing here, I guess, at this food hall. So I'm not sure if like the executives or the people at Disneyland went over there and said, hey, we could do this, and so maybe that's what they're trying to do is emulate or replicate what they're doing at the Anaheim packing district. Anaheim packing district, it's good. There are definitely some certain places that you should try, other places not so much. So this, that's the thing about these shops. What I guess I'm a little bit concerned about is that they're going to be like a lesser version of what they have at Anaheim Packing District or other food halls, because if you go to one of the things I have big issues with, and sorry to be controversial here, but one of the things that I have issues with downtown Disney is that a lot of those little carts and stuff like that, they try to be like these places that are popular like in real life, like because they're like establishments that are generating a lot of business. They have really good tasting foods, and the Disney creates a booth that emulates them but is not as good because they don't care about the quality of the food. All they want is to pump out the product. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that what I'm concerned about with this food hall is that, you could say Soul Sister, but is it really Koreans that are making this? Or is it like, is it Korean style, kind of food, you know what I mean? And I'm very particular about my Korean food because I grew up when my mother fed me Korean food as a child until adulthood. You know what I mean? So like I have a very discerning palate when it comes to that.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the other thing that I don't know, man. I mean, and the other thing that and this is another thing that makes me a little kind of worried about this situation is that they take these like smaller establishments and then they because they're in downtown Disney, they get to see all their analytics, right? Like how many sandwiches of this type are you selling? How many dishes of that are you selling? What is like your demographic? They're monitoring everything that you're selling, and then what they will do is appropriate your business and then create the booth. The one of the biggest ones that was like just a major it still makes me upset today is the popcorn that they have at downtown Disney. Oh yeah, it's so garbage. You know what I mean? Because they used to have a booth called Popcorn Planet, and their popcorn what do you call the one that oh my gosh, the kettle corn, right? The kettle corn they had was amazing, like just like literally out of this world, right? My wife and I, we would buy that like a big old bag before we went home every time we went to Disneyland Resort. Now, they try to replicate that or emulate it, and their popcorn is not good. I mean, it's just like you might as well go to your local grocery store and buy like some kind of like mass-produced popcorn because it's on the same level, right? So that's the thing that I'm worried about with these smaller businesses that they're I mean, sure, they'll get some exposure and they'll generate some business, but if they're too successful, then Disney will be like, you know what, we're good. We're going to, take over what you've done and we're going to make it our own. And then it'll just be garbage again. You know what I mean? And just, same with the churros, the corn dogs. I mean, all those little kind of mini booths that they have in downtown Disney. I mean, there's a reason why people don't line up until like they're super drunk at night,
Yeah. Well, no. And that's one of the things that you always got to be concerned about, especially when they're doing things like that, like you're saying, because one thing is the quality control. When you have a small business and you have ownership or people with skin in the game, it's on them to make sure that the quality stays up. So like Soul, was it Soul Sisters, right? It's a small business. So these are all going to be small businesses that as they begin, they care about their product. So that's the other part that I've always find interesting when you hear about smaller, eateries coming in and things like that, where everything is probably in a very strict, tight quality control. That what's going to happen when they have like double the demand than what they're used to. Like where is that going to fall? Like and then the other part of it too. Honestly, I hadn't even thought about Disney taking those analytics and going, okay, now we're going to do it. And then Disney's going to, and they don't have that same skin in the game as they do. So that's always interesting to me. So hopefully,
well, what they're going to do is they're going to take a food manager or whatever, whatever a food booth manager who like oversees 10 different booths, who manages personnel who are making minimum wage,
Yep.
who don't give really, besides trying to quote unquote represent Disney in the Disney way. They don't really care about the product that's being put out. All they care about is like smiling and giving the person a nice, warm package of food. However, they don't really care, like, is it really good or is it not good? It doesn't matter to them because they're going to get paid the same regardless.
Yeah.
Whereas a business owner, it's like, if the quality of your product is not good, guess what? You're going out of business.
You're out of business.
You know what I'm saying? Disney doesn't have to care about that. You know what I mean? It's like they can take a tray of 48 chicken sandwiches, go to that booth, leave it in a warming tray, and then as people come up to get their sandwich or whatever, here, boom, here's your sandwich. And guess what? Their product cost is like whatever, $2, and then they're selling for $10, whatever, etc. I don't know the exact food cost, but regardless, you know that they're making a major profit on each of those sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's why a long time ago, I remember Mark and I had a discussion about Maurice's Treats, and we discussed about their twists that they had at one point. They don't have those anymore. The reason why? Because they were garbage. You know what I mean? And the thing is that now they have other pastry products. Guess what? They're garbage. You know what I mean? And the thing is that they don't care. All they're trying to do is pump out product.
Yeah.
Keep it, relatively, edible. And then after that, it's like people, they're not going to go back and say, oh, I demand my money back. Or like, guess what? I hate you. I'm going to leave you a bad Yelp review.
Yeah.
So what? Who cares? We took your money, move on, what I mean? So that's the thing. And so that's why I'm a little bit concerned about this whole situation regarding this food hall or whatever. Is it really going to be like something that's going to be sustainable long term? Probably not. You know what I mean? It's just and I don't mean to be skeptical or, cynical, but,
Right.
I'm being real, man. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I have my reservations about this whole thing, and this is actually new to me. And so I don't have, an in-depth knowledge to analyze it, but I'm just giving my firsthand thoughts regarding it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, so the same thing that's going to happen, hopefully the Anaheim Food Hall. I've been to the one in Napa. Now I can't think of what it's called.
That's Oxbow Market.
Oxbow Market.
Yeah.
And that place is amazing.
Sure.
And you can tell that. So I'm hoping that they actually do a good job and they maintain that, because that kind of vibe for that kind of food hall like that is great if it's done properly. So hopefully they do maintain it. But I share your skepticism on that for sure.
Well, I was looking forward to it, but now I'm not.
Sorry,
ruined
man.
it.
I didn't mean to kill the vibe, man. But
don't worry.
I gotta be real here.
You're just spitting facts, and it's fine. I'm cool with that.
Yep.
All right, so we're looking at let's move on, I guess, from Tortilla Joe's in downtown
I'm looking
Disney.
at fajitas though.
Oh, well, Udi's looking at the fajitas.
I'm looking at fajitas right now. And quesadilla. So wait, okay. So I have a question about it. So Carnitas quesadilla, it's off menu. Special?
Oh, that looks so good.
That does look good.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because they used to have the quesadillas on menu, and then they been changing their menu, and it kind of like the current iteration doesn't have that on there. But you definitely can order that off menu. And there's something else, like if you have like a particular dish that you like have had at other Mexican restaurants that are similar in style, and you're like, oh, you don't have this or what are flautas or that kind of thing, or potato tacos. I'm sure that if you request it, they would be accommodating.
Arroz con pollo, man. I need a good arroz con pollo. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't done it right.
I'm sure the chefs are skilled to recreate that dish.
Yeah.
Not typifying here, but I'm assuming that the majority of the chefs in the kitchen there are of Mexican descent.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm going to agree with that. Yep, and hopefully they can. If I can do it, I'm sure they can do it.
Yeah. The other thing I hope that they keep when they open up Paseo is the handmade tortillas, because those are money.
Always need to have them.
Oh, for sure. the store-bought tortillas, man. I mean, just when you taste the handmade versus the store-bought, it's just like you understand.
Oh, night and day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to go into the Lunar New Year now. That's
Yeah.
what's next on the
Let's
the
go.
photo album. So when you it looks like you bought the Sip and Savor Pass, right? This year?
Yes.
And how much is that again?
That was oh my gosh, my wife and I just discussed it. Is I believe so it's six dishes, six tabs. It's virtual tabs now. They used to have like the ones that you had the plastic tab that you took off, but now they have it as like a QR code, and then you have like a scratch off. So when you go to the restaurant, you scan that QR code or whatever, and then you have to input like a 4-digit code like ATM with a debit card, and then they debit your account, so to speak.
Sure.
And I believe the cost was $43 for 6 dishes, which equates to about $7.25. And then if you don't have a that's with a magic key. If you don't have a magic key, then it's $46, which is what's it, $6.75, something along those lines. I'm just doing math off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I
sure.
wasn't a math major. But anyways, regardless, excuse me, $7.75.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically anything like $7.25 or thereabouts and above, then it'd be worth to get that Sip and Savor Pass. If not, then just go ahead and buy it individually.
Yeah.
But you know me, I'm a foodie, man. I'm gonna be trying a lot of different things, and it's gonna be expensive. So I just we got the Sip and Savor Pass, and yeah, it was worthwhile.
Yeah, I think that
it was
would be
a little
something.
bit awkward, in the beginning when we did the pass, because again I wasn't used to the the ATM code or whatever, that kind of thing. But eventually we got used to it. And the other thing that's great about the Sip and Savor Pass is that you can order everything at once at one individual booth. So, like, let's say exactly, you like pre-plan what you're going to have, then you can just go to one booth, let's say Lucky Lantern, and then you say, I want this, and this, and then they said, okay, here's your receipt. They print it out, you go to the other booths, and then they just mark it off individually as you pick up your food.
Nice.
Oh, that saves a lot of time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because, man, especially in the afternoon, like peak lunchtime or dinner time, that type of thing, there's so many people that line up, and it just, you want to make sure that you're prepared, because otherwise you're just going to be waiting around, and by the time you get your food, it's just like, oh my God, I don't want to go to another place. I just want to go eat, right? But here you can just go one booth to another booth to another booth, and then you go sit down and eat everything at once.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
nice. All right, so let's see what you. It looks like you started off with the char siu style ribs. Am I reading it right? Siu.
Yeah,
Siu.
char siu.
Siu.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's
So
like
yeah, that's like SIU is like shoe, but it's the pronunciation is it's Chinese. So like if you ever have a Chinese beer called Qingdao, it's a XINTAO. It's actually, instead of Xing Tao, it's a Qingdou, so it's
Okay.
Different pronunciation. But regardless, I mean, it's you're close enough. The char siu style ribs, they were good. They're a standard. So if you go to a Chinese restaurant, the ribs are going to be a little bit different. But this one is sort of like an Americanized style. And so they're meatier than the Chinese char siu ribs that my wife and I normally have. But and the sauce is a little bit sweeter and darker than normal. normally doesn't come with the roasted peanuts or the
Yeah.
scallions, but it makes it look pretty, right?
I was going to ask you about that.
I was too, yeah.
How did the peanuts add or subtract to the taste for you?
It cut down on the sweetness. The barbecue sauce, the braised sauce that comes with it, the glaze, is a bit on the sweeter side from the standard char-siu, but it's almost like the Chinese style, but with a little bit of American barbecue, like a Texas style barbecue sauce.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It just with a hint of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the peanuts definitely cut down on the sweetness. Adds a little bit of textural contrast, but they're not like roasted peanuts, so it's not super. It's not super crunchy.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they say it's roasted peanuts, but I mean, it's like it doesn't taste like roasted peanuts. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like maybe they're semi-roasted or something, or maybe they're like Planters peanuts, and Planters peanuts are like super roasted, unless you get the dry roasted style.
Yep.
So, anyways, yeah, I mean they're good, but I mean I understand $8.49 is a bit expensive if you were to get it individually, but for the Sip and Savor Pass, because of the price point, I'd say that these are worth the price. Right. And you have to take in consideration that this is a theme park, right? So
yeah, always. Yeah. I know. I'm looking at the picture while they look at it, and I felt like the scallions and the peanuts are like they overdid it. Like why so much?
Yeah, but it doesn't detract from the flavor.
Okay,
so
okay.
it's not horrible. The scallions, honestly, I didn't even notice them at all.
Okay.
The roasted peanuts, like I said, the only thing that I noticed about them was the textural contrast, but it wasn't really like it swayed the flavor one way or another. You know what I mean? I mean, there's I guess you could, if you really thought about it, you could say that there was a nutty element that was involved, but it wasn't overpowering. It wasn't like eating like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was just kind of like, it was a nice kind of like supplement, but it wasn't. I mean, you could have done something else and it would have been fine too. You know what I mean? Like almond slivers or something like that. So
okay. So next news item we got not news item. Next food. Oh, Sugar Arts handmade sugar shaped in the form of Lunar New Year symbols.
Yeah, so this was interesting. It was actually a booth. This wasn't a food item per se. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So it's more art than it is like something that you just eat right away. This is something that you want to take home and maybe, display for a while.
Right.
And the thing is that this woman, she is able to take melted sugar and then shape it in the form of the different signs of the Chinese Lunar New Year. Yeah,
I'm looking at that.
Right,
yeah.
so
that's pretty clever.
Yeah, and so she is able to do that right in front of you. I mean, I thought I took a video of it, but something happened. I don't know what my phone just conked out or something, and so unfortunately the video didn't come through. But you can see, she's behind that little thing, and if you don't know your Chinese, your Lunar New Year zodiac sign, then you can spin the wheel and you can create anything you want. Or honestly, you just tell them I like the dog, right? So just make me a dog, or I like a rabbit, so make me a rabbit, or that kind of thing. Yeah. And so if you're not particular, then they'll shape whatever you want. I forgot the exact amount. I think it was, oh my gosh, I want to say $12. So it wasn't overly expensive.
Wow.
And it's something that you can take home as a souvenir, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, as you can see, my wife, she's Year of the Pig, so she got that little the pig symbol or whatever. A lot of people got the dragon because it is the Year of the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
And that one, man, that was pretty amazing. I tried to get a picture of it, but unfortunately, just the crowds were pretty packed, and so it was hard to get in close to take a photo of it. But regardless, she does amazing work, and I'm just if anybody goes there, it's to me, it's like totally worth the amount of money that you spend there.
Yeah.
Just even as a souvenir.
Okay. So, I mean, this is a stupid question. You're not meant to eat it. You're meant to display it.
Oh no, you can eat it.
Oh.
But I'm just saying that if you want to eat it, cool. If you don't, then cool. Keep it. It's up to you. It just some people like to keep stuff as a souvenir.
For
right?
sure.
And
Yeah.
I think this is like a worthwhile souvenir to keep at least for a while. I mean, you can't keep it forever. It's sugar, so
Sure.
you got to eat it eventually. But you can keep it for a few months or whatever, and you can eat it up, and it'll be like candy. And it's nothing special. It's not like a flavored sugar or anything. It's just
Right.
melted sugar and stuff. So
That's still very cool, though.
It is.
yeah, it's the whole thing about the theater of it. Just watching this woman hand create these things. That over at Disney World, they used to have a woman who was from Japan, and she had created these works of art out of sugar as well. But it was oh my gosh, my wife is gonna tell me, oh, you don't remember, and I was like, yeah, I do, but she created something similar in vein, but hers was more three-dimensional in shape. This is more 2D because it's kind of like sugar that's been shaped around a flat 2D surface.
Yeah.
Nice. I see someone rocking that Lunar New Year Spirit jersey. Did you happen to buy one of those, Jay?
I don't buy any of that stuff, man. I mean,
The Year of the Dragon.
yeah, well, yeah. So I'm.
I would not wear that thing.
Yeah. Mark, are you? I was actually going to ask you. Are you a Year of the Dragon?
What are the years?
Because I got you that.
Yeah.
That tumbler. So I was just wondering if that's what your symbol was and the reason why you wanted it.
No, I am not
okay.
the Year of the Dragon. I don't think
okay.
so.
What is the Year of the Dragon?
I think
what is
I'm
your
Year of the. I
Lunar
think
New
I'm
Year?
Year of the Rat.
No, wait. Year of
What
the
year?
Dragon is what? The 23? What is Year of the Dragon?
24.
Right now, literally
24.
right now, because yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's 23.
So it goes in a 12-year cycle. So essentially, there's 12 different symbols, and then depending on the year that you're born, then it determines your sign. So I mean, if you guys don't want to give away your age, that's fine. But I'm just saying that I'll just say I'm Year of the Dog, and then my wife is the Year of the Pig, and so if you tell me the year, I can pretty much. I actually am pretty. I actually love the Lunar New Year astrology because it's so much more accurate than the the sun calendar or whatever that they Leo or Libra or Virgo or whatever, that kind of thing. And I mean the Lunar New Year zodiac signs are like, the descriptions are like so on point with me, and so that's why I was just curious if you guys knew what yours was.
Mine, I'm looking it up. Mine is the Water Ox.
Okay. I won't give away your year.
And I am the Rat. I knew it was the Rat.
Oh, were you the
Okay,
Rat?
Yeah.
okay. You're actually you're exactly. My sister is Year of the Rat as well.
Okay.
So yeah, cool. Right on.
That's funny. Yeah, I've never looked at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at. See, my daughter's like getting the Spirit jerseys. They have a couple each, but the one I'm looking at right now, that Year of the Dragon, it's just too much, man.
I'd rock that. No, I'm
You
kidding.
would
I
not.
would not. I
There's
would
no
not.
way on any day I would ever bet.
The red and gold.
No, it's just too much.
Yeah, I'm not a Niners fan. Anyway.
It is a bit loud for me.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, even if it was Year of the Dog, I probably wouldn't get it because I just don't. So just a little bit of background. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and so
I'm sorry.
I'm an anti-49ers person. So anything red and gold is just not my thing. So
Gotcha.
I gotta find this
Yeah.
meme. I gotta find this meme. I'll send it to you when I find it, and you'll see.
okay.
It,
I'm sure there's lots of jokes. The Cowboys.
it's Cowboys and Eagles meme. And it's a
okay.
Disney one. It's a good one. I laughed quite heavily when I saw it. I'll have to find it. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to look for it right now and
Well,
send it to you right now. on IG.
let's
Okay,
move
moving on.
'cause Jay's got limited
Yeah,
time.
getting back to topic here.
So we're at the Lucky Lantern. Is that
Lucky
what it is?
Lantern.
But
Yes.
okay, so Lucky Lantern. Then let's see what do you got?
So this is the place where they had the most interesting dishes. The quesadilla egg roll with the guajillo pepper consomme, and then they had the Mandarin orange mousse cake.
Yeah.
I know, Mark, you kind of, like, I was listening to the last podcast, and you kind of dismissed the Mandarin orange mousse cake. It's, man, you're sleeping, bro. You know what I mean? This is like, this one is on point, because if you look at the picture that I sent to you,
I love it.
they put a lot of detail into this, not only like from a like a visual standpoint, but also from a taste standpoint. This is one of the more perfect desserts that they have there at the Disney California Adventure, and for Lunar New Year or any of the festivals. To be honest,
it looks wonderful. I'm very curious, and I would, and you're right. I did dismiss it, because I just say things like that just for entertainment value. But I would. What is inside that? I mean, I'm curious to see what's inside that thing.
So inside of it is let me get the description here. Give me 1 second. You know what? I should have opened it up, and
Yes.
man, when we opened it up and we started tasting it, it was like we didn't want to let it go.
Okay.
So it's layers of the Mandarin mousse with vanilla cake and clementine compote, and then it's with the white chocolate crunch balls and tangerine glaze. So essentially what you're doing is that you have a filling with the Mandarin mousse, but on the outside of it is vanilla cake, and then the clementine compote on the outside, and then like mixed within the whole dish is the white chocolate crunch balls, which is almost like a textural contrast, but it also adds another layer of sweetness. And then you got the tangerine glaze on the outside. So you got citrusy, you got sweet, you got chocolatey, you got the lightness of the vanilla, you got the Mandarin mousse. You know what I mean? It's like so it's airy also. I mean, it's just like it's quite amazing. And then the little chocolate topper or whatever. It's dark chocolate, so if you want to kind of mix it up to the whole dish, then you got another level of chocolate to include as part of the whole tasting experience.
Yeah, it almost looks too perfect to want to mess up, right?
It is, it's quite amazing. This is again $6.75, so you're kind of taking a little bit of a hit with the Sip and Savor Pass.
Yeah,
but you know what, man? It's worth the extra 50 cents price cost. So
okay, for sure.
it does look good. It does look good.
And what's the next item he has there?
Hold on. That's the egg roll.
Oh, the egg roll. Okay.
So this is, I would say, the second best quesadilla style dish that they have. The first would be the one over there at the Jolly Holiday. The sandwich, because you got the bread and the dipping sauce, so that bread really soaks in the consomme. This one is good, definitely very cheesy. The beef is good. I mean, it's tender, juicy. Definitely super cheesy. The egg roll wrapper is light and crunchy, but it doesn't really soak in the consomme as much as the bread.
Yeah, you would think.
At the Jolly Holiday.
Yeah. What is the sauce that comes with it?
It's a guajillo pepper consomme.
Okay.
So instead of like a straight beef consomme, true quesadilla is goat.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Is it?
So
yes.
basically, this is their beef. The Americanized version or cheaper version of the true quesadilla.
Yeah.
But
See, I was gonna ask
guajillo pepper.
I was going to ask what that was because I know Udi. I'm very white. I get it.
I know.
But I just don't know what that is.
Yeah, the birria will be the recipe. It's the seasoning. It's the style. It's how it's cooked.
So he says queso. So is that
queso? That's cheese.
Yeah, I was going to say. So is it like
queso, queso is burrito.
Yeah, queso birria.
Right?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But burrilla is the true definition of burrilla is goat.
Yes.
So this is like a cheesy goat meat?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be. A lot of them, it's difficult. Okay. I have yet to run across anyone locally here, and even up where I work, when I'm traveling around, I haven't found anybody making authentic with goat birria. It's always been meat. It's always been beef. It's always been beef. Oh, and even when my family, when we make birria, we make it with beef anyway.
Okay.
So it is. I mean, so you're right. Jay's right. It's like the classic recipe, the classic meat is goat meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing to consider when we're going to get to another dish later on, because you guys had discussed it in your previous episode as far as like the menu for the Lunar New Year. But anyway, so take that into consideration when I expound on another dish that we're going to touch on later.
Let's move along.
So anyways, the guajillo pepper, it was good. It adds an element of spice, but not overpowering. My wife can handle it, and she's not like the spice head that I am. So most people, I think, the majority of the population can handle that spice level. And in fact, I think they would enjoy it because it will enhance the dish itself. Because that meat and cheese gets a bit like heavy. So you need that like spice element to kind of offset that flavor profile.
Awesome. All right. Next is some cool pictures. It looks great. So what's the next?
Yeah, I mean, there's Goofy. I mean, wanted to kind of show like the different characters that are around. I posted some of these on Instagram, so if anybody's interested, it's SB Hoppa Boy. But
SB Hoppa Boy,
yeah, we got Goofy, we got Mulan. The next dish is this is the one where we're going to go ahead and go in to the definition of chicharrón. So traditionally, chicharrón for Mexican cuisine is fried pork skin.
Correct.
However, chicharrón can also be utilized for other dishes as well. It can be used in other Latin American cuisines with chicken skin. It can also be used with, let's see, what else? I think there was mutton or something like that. So it was like it's just basically fried skin of a particular animal, right?
Yep.
So for the Lunar New Year celebration, chicharrón, there's no Mexican food there. So chicharrón could be defined by other cultures. And in the Philippines, they use chicken skin. And so when they say it's the red spice fried chicken bites, they actually mean the fried chicken skin that's part of the chicken, I guess, chicken nugget. I mean, I don't know, chicken pieces.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar to like Japanese karaage, which is like the fried chicken dish. But this one doesn't have the same element, same amount of breading as a chicken karaage. So it's kind of like a mashup of Japanese karaage with Southeast Asian spice and a Filipino recipe in terms of like the fried chicken skin.
Right.
So you have a like dish that is really like, for me, this was like an amazing flavor. It was spicy, super spicy. In fact, normally I like to add spice to some of these dishes that they call themselves spicy, but this one, it really doesn't need extra spice. So that tells you the level that we're speaking of here. And then as far as like the flavor profile, the chicken is a bit on the chewy side, but the skin is crunchy, so I appreciate that. It's a bit controversial. I've read other people who reviewed this dish, and they indicate that they didn't. It's either like a love-hate relationship, right? So some people love it and they're like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." Other people like, "Oh my God, it's disgusting. It's too hot, too spicy, or whatever." Right. So it just depends on your spice tolerance. So if you can tolerate spice, I think this is like one of the more daring dishes that they have had at these booths for the festivals. But if you don't like spice, then definitely avoid it.
Okay, I will avoid it.
I'll eat it. I like spice.
I mean, I might try one piece of that.
As it goes running with his head on fire.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right.
You're not that
Oh
bad.
yeah, I mean, if you're not if you're not a person who's used to spice,
I'm
then
not.
yeah, try a piece, but have like something to drink nearby.
Have some milk. I'll have some milk.
It does look good, though. It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
And
right.
is that, who's that?
Mulan or something?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's Milan.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
Mulan.
sorry.
Yeah. We're moving forward.
I thought, I was like, so yeah, the next picture that I had was Mulan.
like that.
I did just want to show that she was there doing
Yeah.
like a character meet and greet, that type of thing.
Nice.
The next thing it was like, I actually was thinking that Jess could maybe she would know what this was, but it's something called slime.
What is that?
It's kind of weird. It's like, so it's like, I almost want to say it's almost like Play-Doh, but like a gelatin form. And like, but it's kind of weird because the way that they like have this station set up, it's like you have dessert sounding flavors or dessert sounding like supplements to add to the slime. And so, but I was like, wait, is this like a dessert place or what? So I looked more carefully and I read out the description and it says it wasn't edible.
Oh.
So I was just like, well, okay, this is kind of weird. Then why would you call it, such and such? I should have taken a closer picture, but it was just like, sprinkles or,
Yeah, it looks like sprinkles.
Right. And other things that look like the candy that you get at the whatever.
Like if I went to a froyo place, that's what
Exactly
I get that.
right,
I get that
like
feeling.
frozen yogurt.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect description. And so that's the thing that's confusing. Is like, so what's the point then? I mean, if it's not edible and you're having all these sprinkles into a slime that you can't eat, then why?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess either for the visual element or maybe it's relaxing where you just like kind of like
the
put the slime in your hand and you kind of squish it around or whatever, that kind of thing, like a stress reliever. But I don't know, it's very strange. It's interesting that's from Kauai, but it's not Kauai like Hawaii. It's like Kauai like a Japanese way of spelling Kauai. It's Kawaii instead of Kaui. So it's very kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I didn't know. Like I guess that I feel like I'm a little bit too old to kind of be understanding like the fascination with it. I mean, you could see the person or like it's more for women, like on the younger side. The little girl that's front and center there in my picture. It's like she's 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. So maybe that's what it. The demographic that they're going for.
Now I'm going to go talk to my nephews if they know about this. They're right in that age range. Exactly in that age range, yeah.
And then the last two things, last two dishes, or I guess food items, I should say, or drinks, are the Lunar New Year Punch, which I know you guys kind of discussed that briefly. And the last one is the Yuja Pineapple Cooler. And so we'll go ahead and kind of expound on the Lunar New Year Punch. I know you guys said that you found it interesting in the last podcast.
Yes.
So I will say that is definitely worthwhile getting. I'm not a person who likes these mocktails because it's just like, dude, if I'm going to put that kind of amount of calories in my body through a drink, then I want it to have deleterious effects. Right?
Agreed.
I want it to have alcohol because I want it to be worthwhile. So this was Bamboo Blessings. The punch contains the mango nectar, tangerine, and grapefruit juices, banana and coconut syrups with the mango jellies. And my wife enjoyed this very much. Unfortunately, you can't order it without ice. I think the ice is actually a detractor. If anything, all it does is just kind of like
water it down.
It dilutes the product itself. It keeps it cold for a little bit, but then as you're drinking down, it's just like all of a sudden it doesn't taste very good towards the end. But Disney won't sell it without the ice, so if anything, I would suggest just if you have another container or whatever, like skim off the ice and then just drink it without it.
Yeah.
Because you want that concentrated flavor. That's the whole point of this concoction.
It does look good though. It does look refreshing.
It
Yeah.
does. For sure.
It was good. I mean, again, if you threw in some rum and maybe vodka or whatever,
There you go.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing, I would have been like, yeah, let's go. I'm on board.
Yeah,
But,
lately I've been in that mode. Like I grab something to drink. I'm like, it'd be really good in this rum or bourbon or vodka even. Yeah.
Right. The last thing, the last drink is the Yuja Pineapple Cooler, which is the pineapple juice, Yuja puree, rice and condensed milk, and then with cherry coconut foam.
That looks good.
It looks interesting. In a good,
it is.
good way.
It's interesting because the you can try it both ways, either unmixed or mixed. I think that probably mixed tastes better. But I was looking up because honestly, I'm not very familiar with Yuja, and so I'm just kind of like, I guess what the flavor profile is. It looks kind of citrusy, almost like a hybrid between like a lemon and an orange. But yeah, basically it kind of adds citrus notes, I should say. But I've never had it like in its purest form.
Okay.
So I can't tell you the exact flavor profile. I even did like Google search on it and everything.
Right.
So anyways, regardless, it's a very nice concoction. The pineapple, I love pineapple, so this is one of my favorite sweet fruits. The condensed milk with the rice milk, the cherry coconut foam. I mean, it all works, So I think that definitely it's something to get if you enjoy mocktails and you want that to supplement your Asian culinary experience.
Yeah. I get horchata vibes. I don't know why. Maybe it's the milkiness of it. Yeah.
It
like texture wise, like
it has that kind of creamy texture as far as like a horchata, but it's not quite as
sweet. Is it?
It has
sweet?
like citrusy notes, so that's the thing that kind of like sets it apart from like a pure horchata.
Right.
And like there's also like sort of like that tropical element as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'd say that I guess from like a from it probably has the same viscosity as a horchata, but doesn't have the same flavor profile.
Right.
So yeah.
It looks good though. I would try that. I would try it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to go and you're into mocktails, and that's for sure worth the price.
I can take.
And again, I would skim the ice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can take a bottle of water in with me.
Oh sure. Yeah.
I didn't air quote the water part, but anyway, yeah. Oh.
So overall, I think this place. I mean, it looks like you had some really good food experiences there.
You know what? What's sad to me is that the Festival of Holidays was so much better in the past, but now this is better than Festival of Holidays because Festival of Holidays, I told you guys in my last written report, that's becoming like the Festival of Booze, right?
Yeah,
It's like, bro, I mean, like I want to enjoy, cuisine around the world, not drinks around the world.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Don't charge me $17 for like one shot of Jaeger with whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to have like German food. I want to have food from Italy. I want to have food from like all these different locations around the world that celebrate Christmas, and all they're trying to do is sell me on liquor, and I'm just like, man, I mean, I bought one drink and I told you about it. It was pretty awesome. It was great. This time at the festival, this Lunar New Year festival, I did some research before I even tried any of the drinks, and people were like, wow, it's like, wah, wah, wah. Like they're like, they promise all these flavors, but all it is just the fruit juice with like a shot of vodka or a shot of soju, which is like sake, or a shot of whatever, that kind of thing. It's just like they're taking, like mocktails, just adding it just a little bit of liquor and then trying to upsell it $10 more than what they charge for a mocktail. So that's just kind of sad, just unimaginative and just really kind of like lazy, honestly.
Yes. Yep.
And so that's hoping that because they've kind of made an improvement, I think that they probably heard feedback about the Festival of Holidays and the reason why that they introduced some more tantalizing cuisine at the Lunar New Year Festival, that they'll take that into consideration for, the Food and Wine Festival, which is upcoming.
Yeah. And are you going to be going to that as well?
I like these. Like, what kind of a question is that?
What? Is that a question?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know that you're headed over to the East Coast for a little bit, for like a week or so, right?
Right. That will be in April.
April. Okay. And Food and Wine is when is that? When are the dates for that?
Doesn't matter. I'm going to be there.
Okay. Well,
I will look it up right now, just to kind of for our discussion. But
that could be at Disneyland, I think, is what he's talking about.
One, So I was looking up. My wife and I, in the second week of April, we're going to Epcot, and I know that they have the Flower and Garden Festival.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at DCA. So it looks like March 1st through April 22nd.
Okay.
So yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I will be there. So that's not even a question. As far as the Flower and Garden Festival, I will be there because that's what's going to be taking place at that time.
Yep.
But regardless, I'll give you guys a trip report on that too.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think maybe if you come on to the LTP Lounge, we can talk about that for a while, because I was there in September with my daughters at Disney World, and we absolutely loved it, minus the weather. The weather sucked, but everything else was super fantastic. Everything from Disney Springs to Epcot, we just loved. So, yeah. So
sounds good.
So two more things though. Udi wants to talk to you about this cookie, and I'm not sure what this.
This is Harbor Galley, and I'm like, it's like a dozen of cookies.
Yeah. Where is
So, have you guys heard about this?
No.
No.
So this is something a newer menu item that came about in the. Sometime during January. I don't know exactly when they dropped it, but man, this is like a viral sensation. So the Harbor Gallery, like, it's a place that if you're desperate for food, then you should go there. Whatever, like different bowls, soups, and things like that.
Yeah,
baked potatoes. But honestly, it's only like a last resort if you want to avoid lines and things like that.
Sure.
However, they found a hit in this cookie. This cookie is like, I was at first I was like, what? Like, why are people talking about this cookie? I mean, can it be that good? And then I was like, okay, well, let me give it a shot or whatever. And I was looking at some other, video vlogs or whatever about, the people who go to Disneyland and try new things. And they said, when they go in the afternoon, they're literally sold out of these cookies. And I was like, whoa, okay, well, why is that? And so we got there, and my wife was like, we got to try these cookies because, everybody's talking about them. Okay, cool. Let's go check it out.
For sure.
So we get there around, around that area. They open at 11 o'clock and, was it? No, 10 a.m. So anyway, so we got there around 9:40 a.m. and there were probably about maybe half a dozen people in line. I was like, it's only half a dozen people. They're not going to sell it or whatever. And then so we decided to go on the Winnie the Pooh ride there in Critter Country.
Sure.
And I was like, we got time, so we go there, come back, and we get there like right at 10 a.m. And then I showed you guys a photo of the line, and look how many, it was like 15, 20 people in line already. I was like, bro, it's like, went from 16 to 15, 20 people,
Yeah.
like within that 10-minute time span.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, the hype's real, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then so we waited in the line, and then I was like, well, if it's that good, you can either get 6 or 12, or 13, because the baker's dozen.
Right.
Sure.
And so we were like, oh, well, then might as well get the 13.
You might,
right?
yeah, they might as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And then we got it, and
They
man, it was like when they gave us the box. Number one, I felt the box and it was warm.
Oh, always a good sign.
Warm cookies, hello.
Hello. Oh
And
my
so
gosh. Yeah.
we opened it up, and then we saw the coloration of the cookies were perfect. Again, it was warm. I cracked one open, and I was like, oh, hello. It's like soft and gooey on the inside.
Hello, goodness.
It has little flecks of salt on the outside.
Oh yeah.
It's crispy
Yeah.
on the edges, and then when you bite into it, you get that whole kind of chocolatey, doughy, like melt in your mouth, taking it's like Ratatouille when the guy, the food reviewer, ate Ratatouille for the first time, you know what I mean, and brought him back to his childhood when his eyes kind of quivered, and I was just like, that was me, man. Like my eyes like kind of like opened up and quivered a little bit, and I was like, oh my god, this is like childhood right here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that was it was quite amazing, man. I mean, it was like that's why I put my Instagram post. I was like, man, the hype is real, and these are legit, and
Yeah.
and I would highly recommend anybody who loves cookies to get these. They're amazing.
Awesome. And you wouldn't think this should be coming from Harbor Galley, though.
Man, they had to have something to bring you into their realm, because Harbor Galley was garbage, like I said before that point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong. During Phantasmic, isn't this the place where you get those cinnamon rolls?
I'm not sure.
Okay. 'Cause remember,
It could be, but I never bothered to get them.
Okay, gotcha.
I know that they and then one of the things that they had previously that was good, but then they switched the ingredients was the lobster rolls. So when they first opened, they used to have lobster rolls that had legit lobster. Right?
Okay.
It was like really fresh lobster. Then all of a sudden, we need to cut costs here. Let's use canned lobster. Guess what? It tastes like canned tuna fish. You know what I mean?
No
And so
thanks.
it's just like, you know what? Forget that. That's why I never went back.
Sure.
And the baked potato, I'm just like, bro, I can get baked potatoes at Wendy's. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't need, I don't need to get baked potatoes at your restaurant and you charge me triple the price.
Oh, yeah.
And so, that's the thing about Harbor Galley, is that it's not a place that was like a must-go-to destination. And so that's why I think they needed something to bring some people there, or at least kind of like maybe be like a people eater, so to speak, instead of an attraction to restaurant, because they're doing all that construction at Tiana's what's the not Splash,
Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
The Bayou Adventure.
Yeah.
And then they're also redoing some of the Haunted Mansion stuff as well. So they need to attract people over there. Guess what? This is their ace in the hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So the point is to get there before 10 a.m. And then
I would say get there at 10 a.m. At least get there before noon, because I mean, I'm sure they'll have them by that point, but I wouldn't go after lunchtime, because I think that they will sell out in all likelihood. Again, that's just based on the number of people that I saw. It's like literally flocking to this restaurant, and people are lining up even behind my wife and I. So it just shows you the popularity of it. And don't get anything else there.
okay, gotcha.
I mean, you can get a Coke or Diet Coke or whatever. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, cookies and Diet Coke sound good. Well, something. We're gonna do a game called the Randomizer with you, Jay.
Okay. I heard your previous episodes regarding this infamous contest.
Yes. Let's see if I can get it going here. I'm trying to generate a new list for us.
Sure.
Oh,
So it's like so when we when I was on the Diz Geek podcast, we had a segment called the Kid show or whatever.
Yeah.
It's keep it, improve it, or ditch it. And
Yeah.
so I think this is similar in vein.
It's exactly the same thing.
the exact same
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're going to improve it, you got to expand it. Now, I'm going to, so it spit off, the list is comprised of attractions from both parks. Now, sometimes we don't like what it generates. And since you're new to this, if you don't like this list, you can say, I want another list.
You get one mulligan.
You get one mulligan. So today it spit out Incredicoaster, Frontierland Shooting Exposition, and Dumbo the Flying Elephant.
Okay.
Do you want to keep those three, or do you want to just have a different list?
It's all good with me, man. I mean, honestly, it's just, like any attraction you bring up, any attractions that you bring up, I have thoughts about it. So,
Okay.
All right.
I'm not afraid to express my thoughts.
Okay. So we have Incredicoaster, Frontierland Shooting Expedition, and Exposition, and Dumbo the Flying Elephant.
Yep.
Okay, so we get to keep one, we get to ditch one, and we get to improve it.
Yeah.
But we have to tell us
How you're gonna
how
improve
you're
it.
going to improve
Yep.
it. So, Jay, do you want to go first?
So I would say the Incredicoaster, just keep it. I think it's good as is. Honestly, after they had, made the changes to, be more Pixar oriented, they did a great job of incorporating, the movies into the attraction. And, I'm not like a huge roller coaster guy,
Yeah.
but from my experiences on that attraction, I think they did really well with the existing infrastructure that was already there.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of cookies, have you had that cookie at the end? I know you
the
have.
Num Num cookies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, I have not had those cookies.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that one of these days I want to try it, but just there's so many other dishes, and again, it's just my wife and I that we share the dishes, and we have a limited stomach capacity.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, so he's keeping Incredicoaster. Okay.
So yeah.
You guys feel the same?
Well, we each take our turn. We
No,
take
well,
our turn.
we
so-
can always.
Yeah. Hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead.
Yeah.
So improve it. I would say, man, it's a tough choice because the shooting gallery, I remember that as a child, and they actually used real BBs, and so that was a little more fun. The only problem is I understand the maintenance cost of it, and then also apparently there's issues with lead, that was a toxic element of that experience, and plus like you have to repaint the targets and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
in honesty, I don't know if they can really improve it because shooting is kind of controversial, right? And so I would say, well, so it's controversial for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing, is that, oh man, this is a bit of a tough choice here.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even sure how you can improve Dumbo's ride. I mean, it's like something you go around in a circle and just like, what else are you going to do about it? I mean, I guess you can do like a VR screen in front of the elephant, but I mean, you're talking about like a major upgrade. And yeah, okay, so here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
We'll have to ditch the shooting gallery.
okay.
Even though look, I own guns, man.
Okay.
I do bounty hunting. I was very much, I still own guns, and I still, I haven't gone shooting for a while, but I'm definitely not a anti-gun person.
Gotcha.
Okay. And so as far as so basically the only problem is that with the ways that Disney is trying to be non-controversial, I'd say that is the most I guess, practical attraction to ditch. And as far as Dumbo, then I would say that you'd want to either use like VR goggles, like the Vision Pro or the MetaQuest or something like that, and then you just put that on top of people. So when people ride the Dumbo flying elephant, then when they put on those virtual screens, when they're actually going around, they'll see like elements from the movie, right? And so like you're flying around the big top, you see the different attractions. You see your mom, or whatever, in the cage, and you can cry or whatever, as you're flying by her. And or you can see the crows, hey, how you doing, like singing their skit scat, kind of bobbity boop, type of songs and things like that, so that is the only way that I'd say that you can improve the Dumbo ride.
Okay.
Yep.
Very solid answers there.
Yep.
Yudi, go ahead.
Okay. So, see, these are difficult.
Not easy at all.
No, and so I said it before that the Incredicoaster, if we're going to improve it, how would you improve that? And the only way I was saying would be to try to make it so the elements that don't work so well
in the daytime
make them work all the way around. Because Incredicoaster at nighttime, that's when you get the full theming. You get the full story. You see the Jack, and the whole thing, it plays out much better at night during the day. So I'm going to go with that's the one we got to improve. And that is to make it so during the day, you get the full story. Maybe make the tunnels a little bit more integrated. Somehow make Jack a little bit better as they're running through. Really, the end of it is the end of the ride is, when you're going around and Jack is phasing in and out as you're going along.
Yeah.
That's where it needs to be improved. So maybe go to a screen with Jack phasing or something along those lines. And I like your idea with the VR, like kind of a VR screen. That would be cool. That would be cool in a lot of different attractions, to be honest. But that's where I'll go with that. Improve that. Maybe add the tunnel, a little bit longer tunnel for that. And I've always been a guy of like add another loop, throw another loop in that bad boy because the double. Oh, I love it. Anyway, so that's where I'm gonna go with that one. Then the keep it, I guess, and then you go to Dumbo, and then you go to the shooting exposition. And this is where it's tough because I think both of them hold a place in Disneyland. They both really do.
Right.
So Dumbo being the classic, I guess. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I think Dumbo needs to stay, and then the shooting exposition has to go. As much as I like that thing and how cool it is and how fun it is, I mean, last time I went, I was on it and I used it and I was shooting away. So So in with those three, it's pretty difficult. And I agree with Jay. It's like, as much as I hate to say the controversy over guns, I just don't play along with that game. So
no,
but
no.
Yeah, so that would be it. So you'd have to get rid of that one and then keep Dumbo as is.
Keep Dumbo as is.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement. The reason why I'm sort of stuck on the Frontierland, the shooting exposition, is because I think it's important for kids or people to have this tactile experience.
Yeah.
Much the same way that I'm a fan of Autopia. I mean, having kids drive their own car, physically do it and turn it, I think that's important. It's the same thing with the holding this, gun that shoots infrared light or whatever at rabbits or, I don't know, what are you shooting out there? Cactus?
A bunch of different things, yeah.
But if you weigh it against Dumbo and the Incredicoaster, that thing probably does have to go because Dumbo is classic. It's a day one attraction. And, well, wait a minute, the shooting expedition might be too.
Oh.
Because there were a couple of those. There was one in Adventureland and one in Frontierland, and there might have been one on Main Street too. You know that is that right, Jay? Yeah, I know you're a historian.
I'm not sure about the one on Main Street, but definitely they had one in like New Orleans Square, I believe.
Adventureland, right?
pirates oriented, if I remember correctly. I'd have to look up the history of it. It's been a while since I looked at that, but
Okay.
yeah, they definitely had 2 shooting galleries. I'm not sure if they had 3, but yeah, I'd have to research that more.
Okay. So I guess a shooting expedition of those 3 has to go. What
I got the opening date for that one was 1971.
for what? Adventureland?
No, the
Frontierland?
shooting. Well, that's the shooting arcade. That's not the same one.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, so it wasn't an opening day one.
No.
Oh wow, I was wrong. Are you are you looking at Disney World? Because that's could have been what Disney
No,
World.
you're right. You're right. Let me go back.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue to look.
All right. So I'm gonna probably keep Dumbo as is. I don't know what else you can do. I mean, they updated the queue not too long ago, and Incredicoaster. I guess I'll agree with Udi's that you got to make those elements work in the daytime as well as the nighttime. But that's tough though. It's you can make a case for all 3 of these things. Yeah.
You know, the other thing about the shooting, I guess they call it the shooting exposition.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Frontierland. Yeah, I don't know. They've changed the name over the years. But, I mean, you've already got shooting games existing, but, you know, they're in attractions. You're talking about Buzz Lightyear. You know, you shoot the targets and they're there.
Yeah.
And that's also kind of infrared. And then also you have the one, the Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, Midway Mania.
That
Yeah.
also you shoot as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of already have that in existence. And so
totally
to have
right.
a place where you have to actually pay to shoot something and it's a stationary, you know, position, you know, maybe that's, you know, becoming antiquated.
You're right. No, you're totally correct on that. Mm-hmm. Solid points.
I still like it though.
Yeah, I still like it.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I remember, like I'm old enough to remember they actually had like super, you know, like the you know the actual metal targets. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd have to do some more research as far as like I know there's at least 2 shooting galleries, and I forgot the if there was a third one. But no, actually, looking at Disney Parks Wiki, yeah, there was a Main Street shooting gallery. And that was opened in 1955, but it was closed in 1962. So I just kind of looked that up on Google. So Mark is right. There was a third shooting gallery, but I do remember there was a second one for sure. I believe it was in, again, New Orleans Square, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was a different section of the park. But regardless, I mean, they've had them in the past.
Yeah. Awesome. What time is it?
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock on the dot?
Well, a little bit past, yeah.
Okay. So we are up against our allotted time with Jay. Jay's got a busy schedule, and he.
Yeah. Any other quick questions you guys have? You know, I'll be. You know, I got a few minutes, but just we definitely got to wrap it up. So
for sure,
whatever you want to know.
So why don't you go ahead and tell listeners where they can find you?
Oh, I mean, it's funny. So when I started getting back onto Instagram, my sister was like, "Oh, you should do all these hashtags and have these followers and blah blah blah." I was like, I don't care. You know, honestly, I'm not here to promote myself, but if you guys want to check out the pictures that we've been talking about today, cool. You know, look me up, Instagram, SB Hoppa Boy. S is SB like Santa Barbara, like I said. Hoppa is a Hawaiian word which means person of mixed descent, mixed Asian and white descent.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the last one is boy, which hey, I'm your boy.
I'm your boy. Yeah.
SB Hoppa Boy. Other than that, I mean, I don't do the X. I don't do the. I mean, you know, I'm on Facebook, but I honestly I'm more of a lurker than a generator of content. So you know, but anyways, regardless, but I'd suggest people just following Leaving Today podcast because you guys the more listeners the better.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and we'd love to have you on our LTP Lounge every other Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll work that out. Hopefully.
I'll see if I can schedule time to. You say about between 6 p.m. and what time?
7.
Yeah.
Okay, so between 6 to 7. Okay,
Yep.
I'll see if I can set aside some little bit of time, and if other people online, and I can talk with them and
Yeah.
interact and see what they have to say,
That'd
or
be
if
great.
they have any questions or whatever, and that kind of thing.
That sounds like a good time.
Yep. All right.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay,
All right,
sir.
guys. Well, great talking to you. And,
Absolutely.
Jess, hope you come back on soon, and looking
Yep.
forward to talking to you again as well. And everybody else, take care. Peace out.
Peace out, brother.
Thanks, sir. See you.
Woohoo! All right. Well, thank you so much, Jay, for hanging out with us for an hour and a half.
Yep.
That could have easily gone 2 hours.
Yep.
Again, I just enjoy talking to him. He's one of us, and I hope,
One of us. One of us. Yeah.
and I hope that someday when we go down there, we can hang out for dinner with him or lunch, or just
Yep.
go on some attractions with him, or maybe all of the above, because I think we would get along good. Probably a lot of laughs.
Yep.
And I would definitely learn something because.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Again, if you want to follow him, it's SB Happaboy on Instagram, and look forward to having him on again, either on this or the LTP Lounge. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up episode number 190. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, however, and whenever it is you're doing it. We very much appreciate it. Again, follow us on Instagram at leavingtodaypodcast.com, or just Leaving Today Podcast, and then also check us out on Instagram at check us out on YouTube at Leaving Today Podcast. We have to figure that out, because I think Leaving Today is 2 words or 1 word. I may have set it up wrong, but check it out and do subscribe to our channel, because we've done a couple for LTP Lounge, and we're getting a little bit better at it. And but we have had fan interaction, and
Yep.
that's actually makes a big difference.
Much appreciated.
Yep. And like I said, we're going to get better at it. And also, if you want to send us an email, you can at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Udi, where can people find out about you?
You can find me on my other show, The Mando Show. We have a show coming out it'll be out by the time this comes out. We're discussing Star Wars podcast today, and we're kind of talking about the new projects that are coming out and a few different things. We kind of touch on to some things that are going on in the community, which let me take a second real quick, and I'm going to say this. Joe is, for all of you guys who listen, you guys all know, and if you know, you'll know Joey. Okay, so Joey is one of those guys who is a very much of a nice guy,
Yeah.
and doesn't really have too many ill words to say to people. Not often, but
Joey?
Yeah, Joey.
I've never heard him say a bad word.
I have, but it's rare. Okay, and that's only because we've been in a few situations in a few places. But anyway, but that being said, he recently got blocked by a relatively prominent Star Wars account, and blocked him all the way across. We're talking everything that he's on. Okay, and so we kind of touched about it in that episode. And I'm bringing it up now because and I'm going to call out the Instagram, the site, because I don't think it's this isn't what we need. We need to make this kind of behavior intolerable. Like, we can't have that. We can't, if we're going to ever improve communities and remove divisions, we need to communicate. So it's Star Wars Underground.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, never heard of them, but they're relatively known in the Star Wars community. And the reason why they blocked him was because they made a post with the whole debate of the Charmin Obey Shinoy, which we've talked about, and
what?
Charmin Obeyed Shinoy, the director of the Rey movie.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a person.
Yeah, anyway,
Okay.
that's the director. Anyway, so
Okay.
they made a post basically saying context because of the controversy around her at the moment, and then they said context is everything, and so.
Hold on for a second. I'm just trying to just that. Okay.
Okay, so then Joe said you're correct. Context is everything. But I guess not for Gina Carano. And for that statement, he got blocked all across the board. So So the reason why I'm saying it is because this is what I always feel like when we have these moments. That behavior, what Joe said, is nothing. There's nothing. What is a word that I can even say? There's nothing negative. He's more being like an observant guy, like, hey, but if you want to have that, that's good. Yes, you're right. Context is everything. So we need to apply that across the board. So anyway, so I just felt like, and I told him, I said, you know what, I'm going to call that out because that annoys me.
Yeah.
I think in this community, in the Disney community and the Star Wars community, that more discussion, more talking, understanding where we're coming from is more important than just like, oh, I don't like what you said, cut you off.
Yep.
Cut you off.
I'm not a fan of suppression of speech or ideas. I mean,
So argue with Joe, disagree with Joe, have the discussion with Joe. Maybe you'll find a place of commonality where you can agree. Maybe not, but at least have that discussion. So anyway, So we promote that here. So anytime I have a chance to kind of call people out and say we need to promote this, I'm going to do it. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not trying to stir up anything. It's more me just going, hey, don't do that. Let's talk more. That's why anybody who's detracted against stuff, we've been more than like, well, come on over. Let's have a talk. Anyway, so I just want to say that real quick. So you can find me there. You'll catch that. We kind of talk about it a little bit. And Joe didn't want to call him out on the show, so I said I would do it here.
There you go.
And so I'm doing it. And then you can find me on my socials, which are both the Twixer and the Instagram, which are both the same handle, HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up episode 190. Thanks again for listening. We love you. Adventures out there, and we'll see you in the parks.
See ya.
Okay, while Mark and Udi are away, I just wanted to say, if you're hearing this, please call the police and send help, because Mark is holding me against my will.
A new world order, Udi. A new world order.
Don't get me going.
Okay.
No, I will give you one.
Not that one. Pick a different one. God, you're so slow.
Wow, these are smaller than I thought.
That's what she said.
No bed sheets.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I like yelling at you.
You're funny. Ow, that hurt. Don't make me smile like that. Ow.
Kitty.